Nature's power can be breathtaking, but sometimes it turns terrifying. In this video, we bring you the most shocking and devastating natural disasters ever captured on camera. From unstoppable storms to earth-shattering events, these moments will leave you in awe of our planet's raw force. This is possible because certain bodies of water, particularly near oil or gas leaks, can have flammable substances like methane or oil on the surface, which can ignite when exposed to a spark or flame. This is why water is an incredible force of nature, capable of destroying everything in its path. This is like something out of a fairy tale. Some things are impossible to explain. Driving along the highway, everything seemed normal until an unexpected phenomenon unfolded. Thousands of insects swarmed the roadway, creating a dense, buzzing cloud that made visibility nearly impossible. They were safely protected from the avalanche, allowing them to capture this incredible footage up close. The sheer power and beauty of nature unfolded right before their eyes.
Ты туда. Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
Прямо в это самое. Вот мы стоим прямо.
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой, слышь, Михалыч, давай сваливать.
Да уже
поздно.
раздавал.
Nature is unpredictable, constantly reminding us of its untamed power and mystery. We can never truly know what surprises it has in store, keeping us both in awe and on edge. The scene feels almost surreal, as if we've stepped into the lush, otherworldly landscapes of Avatar. An inexplicable formation of insects and other animals appeared in the sky, creating a mesmerizing and mysterious spectacle. The force of the eruption reshapes landscapes, leaving behind both destruction and a reminder of the planet's dynamic and ever-changing nature.
Got rocks down in the water, right beside us.
A powerful storm swept through, unleashing its fury with relentless winds and torrential rain. The force was so intense that it uprooted trees, snapping them in half as if they were mere twigs, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The snow had piled up several meters high, creating an almost impenetrable barrier. When the doors were finally opened, the scene that unfolded was breathtaking. A thick, frozen blanket covering everything. Millions of tiny insects descended upon the city, blanketing everything in their path. Streets, buildings, and vehicles were soon covered, creating an eerie, surreal atmosphere. The swarm was so thick that it felt as if the entire city had been overtaken by nature's mysterious force. The insects were everywhere, covering cars and surfaces in a thick layer. People were so afraid of stepping outside that they hesitated to leave their homes. The entire city felt paralyzed, with the fear of being overwhelmed by the swarm keeping everyone indoors. A guy stares at the smoking tree, wondering if it's signaling aliens or just having a bad day. As they trudged through the rubbery terrain, one joked it felt like the beach was secretly a giant waterbed testing their balance skills. Laughter echoes across the water as the boat fills so fast that it looks like the crabs might stage a mutiny and take over the oars. While the tiny cloud hovered over the street, casting a light shadow on the pavement, one worker joked that it was probably lost on its way to the cloud's VIP section, and another suggested they give it directions to the nearest rainstorm. As the diver puffed out dozens of circles, it looked like he was hosting an underwater hookah party, with fish eagerly lining up for a puff. Dozens of frustrated drivers lean on their horns, but the protesters, unbothered, stroll along as if the world revolves around their two wheels. The icy rush of snow surges down the mountain, crashing over rocks with a roar as if the mountain itself is surrendering to winter's fury. Completely still, the dog waits for permission to move, while the man laughs at its confusion. With a cloud passing through the mountain's peak, the hiker watches in awe as the vibrant arc of the rainbow arcs above, painting the sky with colors that seem almost too beautiful to be real. He powers through the waves, looking like he's racing to conquer the wildest river. From the other side, the man films the car being dragged by the fast-moving current, its tires just barely peeking above the water. Dark clouds loom over the stunning city by the sea, threatening to turn the peaceful skyline into a stormy masterpiece. The dash cam captures a rock tumbling onto the road right in front of the car, but the driver stops just in time, heart racing. Out of nowhere, the skier crashes into the snowman, toppling it over as he tumbles into the snow, laughing at his clumsy but hilarious fall. As he cuts the watermelon, it reveals a perfect, seedless, vibrant red inside, like a fruity treasure waiting to be discovered. Watching the storm unfold from his window, the guy records the lights flickering uncontrollably, and just as the wind howls with force, a sudden gust shatters the calm, turning the scene into a whirlwind of chaos, with trees swaying, debris flying, and the world outside shaking. Beautiful, colorful clouds drift under the sun, their hues so vivid it looks like someone spilled paint across the sky. Stepping off the boat, the guy rolls onto the back wheels of the truck, which is dangerously overloaded. In a dramatic twist of events, the river's fury left no time for hesitation, forcing everyone into a chaotic escape where dignity was abandoned, shoes were lost, and one poor soul even fell face first into a bush while trying to flee. Before anyone could process what was happening, the valley transformed into a surreal landscape where the thick smoke moved like a slow-motion tidal wave, swallowing everything in its path. With every wobble of the bridge, drivers gripped their steering wheels as if they were riding wild horses, while passengers screamed in perfect harmony. With tables sliding like they were on ice skates and chairs tumbling over each other, the pizzeria transformed into a chaotic stage where the customer's panicked expression became the star of an impromptu comedy show. Dragged mercilessly by the floodwaters, he was spun around like laundry in a washing machine, flung into a muddy pit, and eventually spat out by the river's fury, emerging covered in brown sludge, panting heavily and declaring with dramatic flair that at least he still had his wallet, which of course was completely soaked. In what can only be described as the most unexpected backyard science experiment, the man's casual pour turned his peaceful pool into a smoky abyss, billowing white clouds so thick and intense that his neighbor 3 houses down yelled, "Is your pool on fire?" while frantically dialing the fire department. While massive, glistening chunks of ice slid off his car like glass plates in slow motion, the man grinned with the satisfaction of a job too well done, causing one neighbor to clap sarcastically, another to shout, "I hope that's not my driveway," dumping it on, and a third to stand there recording with a commentary so detailed it might end up on the evening news. With their wooden terraces overlooking the endless blue horizon, these charming retreats offered not just a place to stay, but a front row seat to nature's most dramatic ocean sunsets. Sitting there, with his brush poised and the vivid colors flowing, he made each stroke feel like a tiny act of magic, turning an ordinary piece of handmade craft into something so beautiful that even the objects around him seemed to stop and admire his work. As the floodwaters rose higher and higher, the girl's eyes widened in awe, filming the mayhem around her, where cars floated by like paper boats, people waded through knee-deep water, and the entire scene seemed like a disaster movie come to life. Only this time, the camera was in her hands. In what could only be described as the most unexpected natural spectacle, the earth seemed to glide past them with all the grace of a downhill skier, sending waves of dirt rolling like an avalanche, while they froze in place, half in awe and half in terror, realizing their campsite might not be the safest spot after all. With one of them holding a bucket of feed to lure it in and the other sprinting around like an Olympic sprinter, the pig just kept evading their every move, clearly enjoying the game of catch me if you can far more than they were, while they joked that they might need to start offering Pig Chase 101 lessons to future farm hands. The dust storm was so intense that it had the power to send gas station signs flying into the air, and the man filming it looked more like a reporter from a weather channel, only with better camera skills, capturing the storm as it swirled violently, reminding everyone that, in America, even the weather loves to put on a show. With a deafening roar, the avalanche descends with terrifying speed, a wall of snow and ice that seems unstoppable. Yet the mountaineers, perched high on a safe ledge, remain unfazed, smiling and enjoying the view as though they were watching a thrilling movie scene unfold right before them, completely untouched by the threat of danger, as if they were immune to the catastrophic forces of nature around them, completely oblivious to the immense power and destruction just a few hundred meters away from where they stand. Massive clouds loom ominously above the volcano, casting a shadow over the jagged, stone-filled mountains surrounding it, and all the mountaineers can think is this what a giant rock concert would look like if the band was made of volcanoes? The sudden roar of the falling boulders sends shockwaves through the atmosphere as they roll and crash with terrifying speed and intensity, leaving the passengers frozen in place, unable to comprehend the sheer magnitude of what is happening around them as the road is quickly blocked. And the massive rocks continue their descent with no sign of slowing, making it clear that nature's fury is unstoppable, indifferent, and capable of overwhelming even the most prepared travelers. Thunderous crashes and flashes of lightning illuminating the stormy sky. The terrifying video of the cargo ship battling against the waves paints a chilling picture of nature's sheer power. As the ship is tossed mercilessly by wave after wave, the crew visibly exhausted yet determined, fighting not only against the relentless force of the ocean, but also against the overwhelming fear and panic that threatens to overtake them as the storm rages on, showing how fragile human strength is in the face of nature's unyielding wrath. Rocks tumble down the slope in a terrifying cascade, each one crashing violently into the next, sending a shockwave through the air, as the speed and size of the avalanche create a chaotic, overwhelming scene. Swollen Brown River roars with power, sending towering waves racing down its course, yet the houses along the shore remain unmoved, standing strong amidst the chaos, as if the water is simply a passing force that cannot shake their foundations. With a flick of the wrist, the waiter sears the juicy piece of meat right in front of you, the sizzling sound almost as appetizing as the smell, and within seconds, he presents the expertly cooked, bite-sized pieces on a plate, still warm and inviting, creating a moment of culinary perfection that you can't wait to taste. With a roar, the waves violently toss a large boulder from the depths of the sea, as if the ocean itself is throwing its weight at the shore, breaking the coastal railing into pieces, while the force of the water continues to surge, threatening to wash everything away in its path. The raging winds tear apart the cargo ship's garages, sending them crashing onto the dock with deafening crashes, as workers scramble to avoid the debris, unable to stop the overwhelming force of nature. On their little boat, floating across the lake, the girls munch away on bizarre, pickle-shaped plants they've grabbed from the water, joking that they might have just discovered a new form of underwater junk food, all while wondering if these strange plants will give them magical powers, like the ability to speak fluent fish or turn into water ninjas at will. If anyone had predicted that a simple encounter between a tree and some power lines would turn into a blazing love affair, they'd have probably laughed. But the flames didn't get the joke and took over the whole neighborhood. The volcano decided to throw a party, and the cloud showed up as the uninvited guest, towering over everything like a big fluffy hat. With a little help from his vacuum grip buddies, he scaled the flat wall so easily it looked like he was auditioning for the next Spider-Man movie. Without missing a beat, the spoon landed in the espresso, and the waitress served it like a true professional. Imagine the bravery of these adventurers standing at the peak of a volcano as it begins to erupt. Their courage in the face of such imminent danger is a testament to the spirit of exploration and the thrill of discovering the Earth's most extreme forces.
جالبه.
Water always finds a way. While wandering through the forest, they stumbled upon a natural phenomenon, a stream flowing through a tree that had stood for centuries. What do you think happened here? The people on this ranch were left in shock when they saw this in the morning. The unexpected sight left them stunned, unable to comprehend how such a dramatic scene unfolded overnight. The clouds seem to defy nature's typical patterns. If you're still with us, I just want to say a huge thank you. Please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more amazing content. Your support means the world to us. The entire island is engulfed in flames. A massive storm swept through, its violent wind ripping off rooftops and uprooting trees. The force of nature was so intense that entire structures were torn apart, leaving a trail of destruction in its path. Having a house by the sea is beautiful, offering peaceful views and the soothing sounds of the waves. But when the sea turns wild, it can unleash its fury, flooding everything in its path. By chance, one of his tic decks captured the moment, turning an ordinary video into something extraordinary. What was once a small river flowing through the city quickly transformed into a monstrous force. In just a few moments, it swelled with power, flooding streets and overwhelming the area, leaving everyone stunned by its rapid and dramatic change. In some way, it's satisfying to listen to, yet equally terrifying at the same time. The force of the wind gives the waterfall an almost magical, otherworldly appearance, as it defies gravity for a brief moment. The man bravely managed to capture footage of the tornado as it tore through, an incredible display of courage. His ability to stay focused and record such a powerful and dangerous force of nature is truly impressive. Floods are one of nature's most destructive forces, capable of overwhelming entire communities in a matter of hours. Heavy rainfall, snowmelt, or a combination of both can cause rivers and streams to swell, flooding streets, homes, and farmland. Can someone in the comments tell us what's actually happening here? Luckily, they managed to halt traffic on this road just in time, as a massive rockslide soon came crashing down. The quick action prevented potential accidents, sparing many from the dangerous aftermath of the avalanche of stones. T's intense motion created a vortex that seemed to pull everything towards its center, a natural phenomenon that both fascinated and intimidated those who witnessed it. A small river quickly transformed into a raging monster, its waters swelling with incredible force. A cloud formation appeared on the horizon, so eerie and unnatural that it sent chills down the spine. The shape was menacing, casting an ominous shadow over everything beneath it, as if nature itself was warning of something catastrophic. The sight was so chilling, it felt like it froze the blood in your veins. We are searching for aliens, yet we haven't even fully explored all the animals that remain unknown to us. The vast diversity of life on Earth is still a mystery, with countless species yet to be discovered, reminding us that there is still so much to learn about our own planet before we look to the stars. Is it possible for a vortex to form here? The conditions might be right, with the right combination of wind, water, or atmospheric pressure, but it's still an extraordinary and rare phenomenon. In the past year, this phenomenon has become increasingly frequent, with the strange sight appearing more and more often in the sky. Due to the storm, the tree canopy came into contact with the electric wires, causing sparks to fly. The intense friction between the branches and the wires resulted in dangerous arcing, creating a potentially hazardous situation that left the area in a state of tension and uncertainty. Are these fish swimming beneath the ice, or is it something else? Due to the quarry above, this catastrophe occurred. A rockslide swept down with immense force. The debris from the landslide caused widespread damage, leaving behind a trail of destruction and reminding everyone of the raw power of nature. These birds have gathered before migrating to warmer regions. It's a fascinating display of nature as they prepare for their long journey, often forming large flocks in the days leading up to their departure. A lightning strike hit the peak of the mountain, lighting up the sky with a blinding flash. The intense power of nature echoed through the surrounding landscape. The rhythmic sound of the ice breaking, paired with the cool, serene atmosphere, makes it a mesmerizing natural display. Nature is unpredictable and always manages to surprise us. Just when we think we've understood its patterns, it throws something unexpected our way, reminding us of its immense power and mystery. It keeps us on our toes, constantly reminding us that we are just a small part of a much larger dynamic world. Whether it's a sudden storm or a rare natural event, we can never fully anticipate what comes next.